Now, Muslims aren't the only ones coping and praying that America gets defeated. Leftists and the entire media is working together, praying and coping that America gets defeated. So first, here we have, Twitch, open advocate of terrorism, Twitch, directly banning Asmongold, the largest, I think he's like the second or third largest streamer on the platform. He's definitely the largest right-leaning streamer on the platform. Banned for an entire week because I said I don't give an F about the opinions of illiterate third worlders. Objectively true. Why should you? Why should you care about what they have to say? Would someone get banned for saying they don't care about an American's opinion on the Middle East? Of course not. Blatant double standard. I didn't break terms of service, and he got banned for a week anyway. As you can see, people are very upset about this. This post got 4 million views, 130,000 likes, and it's honestly insane. And this is just another example of the media ecosystem clamping down on voices while they still can. They don't have Twitter anymore to ban the President of the United States, which in my opinion is still one of the biggest atrocities we've ever witnessed. But there still are social media, that are directly owned by morons that are trying to cripple our country. And the left has just basically become an entire psyop, basically trying to get us to hate our country, allying up with Iranian terrorists. And here we have Asmongold, a pro-America streamer that actually does believe in the idea that the Islamic regime in Iran are terrorists, rapists, pedophiles, and it's really good for the planet if they all get obliterated. So, because this is an incredibly stressful time, and today and tomorrow are probably going to be the most pivotal days of this entire war ever since when the war actually started, and I don't think it's a coincidence that Twitch decided to ban him now. They are trying to shut down every single course of positive perspective to be put on Trump at this time, and they decided to shut down Asmongold for it. I'm not here to cry or anything, but currently both of my YouTube channels are completely demonetized. Hopefully I will be getting monetization back and it's not a permanent thing. But for the last couple of days, I was dunking on terrorists just for the love of the game. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, that would be very appreciated. The link is in the description. You will get nothing in return, but it would be very, very nice of you. That said, this isn't the only example of this. You just don't hate the media enough, actually. This is Gavin Newsom's wife, all right, talking about how she actually is very excited that Gavin Newsom is going to be running for president because she has an idea on how to save America.
Boys, we all know, I think, or increasingly are realizing that boys. Are moving away from sort of the more progressive boys that spend time online are moving a little bit I'm trying not to be political here, but I'm
trying not to be political. Boys are moving to the right. That's what she's saying. Boys are moving to the right because we're actually waking up to reality. We're actually seeing what's going on in our world. We're actually seeing what largely, liberal white women are doing to our countries, importing rapists and terrorists and not taking accountability for anything, trying to overthrow our democracy, push this, transgender, anti-reality, apocalyptic bullshit, abort generations, not get married. We're watching liberal women terminate our civilization, and we're actually tired of it. All right? And yes, boys are moving away from that, correct?
moving to the right.
And she's trying so hard not to say it.
And being sort of influenced by
reality?
By the Andrew Tates and some of that.
The Andrew Tates? Are we even being serious here for a second? Andrew Tate's not influencing anybody right now.
Sort of alt-right socialization online that we know is very...
Alt-right socialization? Like what? For example, you think that you should get married.
Very, very dangerous.
It's so dangerous to not want Muslims to rape your children. I think it's dangerous.
My husband and I were alarmed.
Gavin Newsom, guy running for president, don't forget.
When our kids were watching sports online and my son knew about Andrew Tate.
Oh my God, I can't believe my son knew about a very famous person. Oh my God.
And thought he was pretty cool and thought that his Republican grandfather, who's not a Trumper, but a fiscal conservative, thought that my father would like Andrew Tate. So that's scary.
This is a kid, dude. And by the way, Gavin Newsom's kid was a big fan of Charlie Kirk, for those of paying attention. All right? We are winning the actual culture war where discussions can be had. The leftist ideology is just shut you down wherever you are. Ban Asmongold on Twitch instead of contending with his ideas. It's and that is how the left operated for a very long time, in this pristine bubble where they just banned any form of alternative conversation.
We're like one of the most progressive households, and our son...
We're so woke, it's amazing. That's why I cheated on my husband, and my husband cheated on me.
Is confused and asking all these questions. We're working on legislation to hold tech companies accountable.
Legislation to hold tech companies accountable. In other words, to censor people.
And help them be a force for good in our kids and families.
We want them to be a force for good. Now, good is arbitrary because it's what I think is good. See, I think that actually gay orgies are good. I think gay orgies are fantastic. I think castrating children is good. To quote my husband, I love to see trans children. I think that's good. And if you don't agree with that, then you're bad, and we should ban you from conversations online.
Families' lives, to really provide all the best in class resources and support for youth so that they don't go down this rabbit hole of very, very dangerous
information. Factual reality. That's what they're scared of. They're scared that children, mostly boys, because boys are the adventurous sort. Boys don't actually give a shit if you call them names. Boys are going to be like, oh, you call me racist? Cool. And then they drop the N-word, you know? Like, that's boys. All right? So the reality is they're afraid that boys are actually going to engage with information that's true instead of the spoon-fed slop, groomer-minded bullshit that they're pushing it down their throats.
And limiting narratives around.
We're trying to eliminate narratives that are true, but they're hurtful.
Ultimately, what it means to be a girl and what it means to be a.
That's right. That's right. People think that men and women are different online. That's crazy. Obviously, men and women are just social constructs, and anyone can be any gender they want.
A boy. We owe it to them and ourselves to kind of heal this.
Heal this by censoring everyone on social media.
This gift of modern technology, but curb it to be a force for good. I mean, look, the Gov and I, we have 3 more years. We're trying to institutionalize our values so that they can.
We're trying to make up a value system that'll win an election.
Carry on.
They don't actually believe in anything.
Beyond our term.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm really glad that she just said this out loud. So a lesson to be learned: never marry a feminist, or she will destroy your career. Right? This bitch is inserting herself into Gavin Newsom's political run in order to insert herself and make herself important. And in my opinion, this is like an absolute, utter catastrophe. Right? Like, you can't run for president on the mandate of we're just going to ban conversations online that we don't like. And you don't hate the media enough. The media has been constantly calling Trump a war criminal. And it's really nice to see other media actually hold some of the other media accountable.
They're back. The seditious 6 is now 7. They've got a new member, Senator Jeff Merkley. He didn't like Trump's Easter message to Iran, so he's telling our men in uniform to go AWOL. Quote, to our military leaders, remember this: you are legally required to refuse orders to commit war crimes.
And thank you, Senator. Again, it's unbelievable watching senators of the United States directly telling our military to not follow orders.
So what's a war?
And then a leftist will be like, well, I tell you, it's illegal orders. I'm only talking about war crimes specifically. Well, what's a war crime? It's everything I don't like is a war crime.
War crime? Alyssa Slotkin, one of the original 6, says it's as simple as turning off the enemy's lights. The Times agrees.
Wow.
Are you concerned that your threat to bomb power plants and bridges amount to war crimes?
No, not at all. No, I'm not.
For the record, anyone that actually ever read anything in their life knows that you're being tricked and psyoped, because it's not a war crime to target military infrastructure. All right, if bridges are used by the military, bombing the bridge is not a war crime. If electricity grids are used by militaries, then bombing the electricity grid is not a war crime, even if it does affect civilians. Right? This is just the reality of the actual legal system. But I have an even better statement. All right, I actually don't fucking care if they are war crimes. I don't care about arbitrary rules made by retards to enslave us to their bullshit, while you have Iranian terrorists doing war crimes every day with zero condemnation. I actually don't care.
I hope I don't have to do it. Mentally, these are disturbed people. If you think I'm going to allow them, and powerful and rich, to have a nuclear weapon, you can tell your friends at the New York Times, not going to happen.
If knocking out power is a war crime, Bill Clinton should be in The Hague. Slick Willie obliterated Serbia's power grid back in 1999.
No one cared.
Both the Bushes did it in Iraq.
True. No one cared.
Lyndon Johnson hit a few power plants in North Vietnam.
True. No one cared.
It was called Operation Rolling Thunder.
No one cared about that. That's
These
weird.
targets are selected as humanely as possible.
True.
Considering dual-use systems and the law of proportionality.
Look, the way I see it, we could nuke Iran, and we're not. And that makes us very nice people. And all these people need to fucking, jump off, take a long walk off of a very short cliff.
But the goal of war is to win.
True.
We aren't hitting their...
But that is exactly what the left doesn't want. They want us to lose the war. They want to shackle us down to our desks, and they are trying to do everything in their power to make us lose the war. They are rooting against America openly.
Water, hospitals, or hotels. That's what Iran is doing to our allies. Remember, these aren't civilian power plants. The Guard runs them and gets dibs on the power. So hitting that type of target hurts the military.
True.
And their ability to fight back.
True.
The ceasefire terms are simple. They have to open up the strait and knock off their nukes. But Democrats say Trump's winging it.
This is all embarrassing and juvenile, and it's
They just
people
lie.
trying to act like they're puffed up and
Hi, I'm a Democrat. I'm just going to go on the news and lie.
tough,
We don't even know what the operation is about, says the Democrat to a couple of boomers that believe him.
when what we really see from the administration in this war is the absence of a plan, the absence of
No plan, and yet we managed to obliterate their entire military, their entire Navy, their entire Air Force, their missile systems, and we have them absolutely at our complete mercy to the point that we were able to put people into enemy territory to rescue a downed pilot with 0 casualties, right? And like, these people are actually going to be like, there was no plan at all. Like, are we being serious?
of a clear rationale, no effort to get allies on board, and thus deep unpopularity of this war with the American public.
This should be a rally around the flag moment. And Democrats are just ragging on the president, just like they did when men's hockey won gold. America wins, the left can't even clap.
True.
If you can't root for America because Trump's running it, that's your problem.
Objectively correct.
The media thinks Hollywood's smarter than the CIA. Listen.
Playing on cable right now on a loop is Top Gun Maverick. There was more of a plan in the fictional plot of Top
Are we
Gun
being
Maverick
serious, dude?
than there appears to be
Oh my God.
in this very real, very live situation.
I can't believe Trump isn't using Iron Man suits to destroy the enemy. I can't understand why our soldier wasn't trapped in a cave using scraps to build a weapon of mass destruction. This is literally the leftist talking points.
But in the United States war with Iran.
Wow.
The media knows the goal of the war. We can't have terrorists get nukes. And they can't have missiles and proxies threatening the world. That's it. But why would Trump give the press his war plans? You might as well just tell the gay Ayatollah. And while Democrats are talking about Top Gun, the media sounds like Iranian state TV.
So if Trump doesn't see that we're losing,
Huh?
every day he
What are we
continues this
doing?
thing, he's going to just face more and more political problems.
My guy! It's been 35 days. You see the left being like, oh, we're trapped in another forever war in the Middle East. Are you fucking insane? We were in Iraq for 8 years. Like, again, these people are like absolutely retarded.
Military
Like, they hate our country so much. They hate our country so much. It's unbelievable.
problems and all sorts of problems. And so he just needs to admit that what's going on, and I doubt he has the mental ability to do that.
Okay, the Times said Biden was brilliant, so nobody takes these guys seriously.
Bro.
Maybe the media is so used to fighting forever wars that they're not used to us winning.
Bro.
To them, fighting to win looks crazy.
Or they're just lying.
What is your response to critics who say that it is your mental health that should perhaps be examined as this war continues?
I haven't heard that. But if that's the case, you're going to have more people like me, because our country was being ripped off on trade, on everything, for many years until I came along. So if that's the case, you're going to have more people.
The same people who propped up bumbling Joe Biden now want a 25th Amendment President Trump because he's making Democrats look bad.
The president is clearly unhinged, and he's doing what we've seen him do many times before, which is
Here we got a couple of emotional women to tell us about how wars need to be fought. This is gonna be good. Oh my God,
to
dude.
speak
He's unhinged and mentally ill. Oh my God.
off the cuff and on a whim, and to degrade the basic rule of law. You know, when I take a look
Basic rule of law. I hate winning wars. I prefer importing rapists.
at the cabinet, the 25th Amendment really turns on people of good faith who mean their oaths to our Constitution when they took them, who are willing to hold this president accountable. And so far,
We need to hold him accountable for winning wars. I'm so used to being in endless quagmires. I really hate this.
we don't see that kind of courage.
Decapitation strikes in the first 30 seconds, search and recovery missions, 200 miles inside enemy territory, no casualties for over 3 weeks straight. Call him a madman all you want. It helps them negotiate. The Iranians see American politicians saying Trump's so crazy that he'll commit
True.
war crimes to win the war. The mullahs are looking around like, uh-oh.
Yeah, that's right. Look, man, I love how, that's what he said to Kim Jong-un right away. He was like, listen, lifted rocket, man, you have a red button, but my red button's bigger and it works. It scares the shit out of these people because, obviously, if he's unhinged, that makes it so much worse. In fact, President Trump even called into Fox News to shit on the media.
I saw Greg say this. the other night, and I do like his show. I like all of your shows, actually. I'm glad Jessica's not there. Because I think, no, actually, I think your show would be better without her. But, you know, who am I to say that? Isn't that terrible? I think it would be a lot better. But, Kennedy, you're doing an excellent job.
Thank you.
But, you know, we have
Yeah, just calling into the news, telling them which reporters are absolute shit. Now, meanwhile, what the media isn't telling you about, gigantic scandals coming out about Eric Swalwell. So he was being investigated for fraud. He's also being investigated for allegedly feeding information to a Chinese spy. And currently, there are over a dozen female employees and interns preparing to come forward and accuse Eric Swalwell of inappropriate touching and sexual harassment. It's like every single time, like, you got like a white man on the left. He's a fucking rapist. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say this. But it's like bro's really trying his absolute best to be like the nice guy, the good dude, and then just end up in all these quagmires. Absolute silence in the media. Now, suspiciously enough, Eric Swalwell in 2018 said about Brett Kavanaugh that if he is innocent of sexual assault, he should bring into his hearing all the people that accused them so they can speak freely. Well, fantastic news, Eric Swalwell. We should bring everyone into the media that accuses you of sexual assault too.
For Brett Kavanaugh's sake, if he is innocent, I hope tomorrow he opens his statement and says, you know what, bring in all the victims, allow them to be heard, allow them to be questioned. That will clear his name if he's indeed innocent. And if
I agree, man. You're so real for this. I think Eric Swalwell should do the same thing on his allegations. All right. Meanwhile, the media is in absolute silence about this. They don't even want to talk about it. Obviously, no one gives a shit. Also, because it's a leftist, and with leftists rape, that's kind of normal. Like, whatever. It's a leftist. Of course he rapes. He imports rapists. He does some rape himself, maybe allegedly. Not saying he did or anything. These are just allegations. But again, all the people that screamed the loudest about the Epstein files ended up all getting into like these quagmires, and it's kind of wild. Now, teenagers are sharing the photo of government textbooks that's all just straight up state leftist propaganda, right? Because again, you have to understand the way the media operates. It operates to control us.
Doing a wellness check on the teenagers in high school right now, because what is this? Someone sent their AP government textbook to Carol Markowitz, their cousin, to show them the political ideology grid that they are currently teaching in American high schools. Guys, I have so many questions.
Bro.
Apparently the only person in American politics who is economic right and more libertarian is Ron Paul, who is like barely libertarian. Hillary Clinton and George W. Bush.
Hillary Clinton is far right. Oh my god.
Are the same
Obama is right-wing authoritarian. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Bernie Sanders is slightly left. Like, dude, what are we doing here?
Because they have the same exact political ideology. What? And they both are more authoritarian than Fidel Castro.
Oh my
Apparently,
God.
Obama is a right-wing authoritarian in 2008, and he becomes more right-wing economically and more authoritarian by 2000.
Donald Trump is a far-right authoritarian, unlike Hitler. Oh my
12,
God.
closely mirroring the political ideology of Maggie Thatcher. And of course, Ted Cruz, who is far more authoritarian, by the way, than Fidel Castro. And pretty much on the exact same line. It looks like he's more authoritarian than Joseph Stalin over there. Donald Trump is on par, of course, with Hitler. Bernie Sanders is barely economic left. Nelson Mandela is a libertarian.
He was a terrorist.
What?
What are we doing?
I don't even know what to do with this.
Yeah, so anyway, that's what the media does. That's just how the media operates. It infiltrates and destroys us. Did he hear about how there are these riots going on in France right now? Did this even cross your feed? Did you even hear about this? Obviously not. Did you hear about this one? How about the Australia government arresting this is an Australian guy, our most decorated veteran from the Afghanistan war for alleged war crimes. Ben Robert Smith was awarded the Victoria Cross for Australia after single-handedly storming 2 Taliban machine gun positions by himself in order to save his own SAS team. Absolute legend. How do we repay him? Well, good news, guys. Good news, guys. The cucked libtard nation of Australia is jailing him for life for war crimes because they're saying now in retrospect he probably killed an innocent man. Now, understand what we're doing to our people and our heroes. Serve your country to fight jihadists, import jihadist sympathizer to your home countries, get put on trial by jihadists, goes to jail forever. Australia's fucked. And this is the entire media. This is the entire world that we need to deal with right now. import infinite retards and let them rape you. It's crazy. All right, so this is the leftist media in England talking about how the English flag is a symbol of racism.
To be honest, the English flag isn't just a symbol of racism. It may be the primary symbol of racism in this country.
It's just shocking to even hear them say this in the media. This is in Good Morning Britain, a slightly left-wing media show. How the British flag, the English flag, is the #1 symbol of racism.
Because of how it's been adopted and co-opted by the far right. In my mom's generation, it was keep Britain white and being chased down the street, being called a monkey. In my generation, it was a National Front telling me to go home. And now you've got the EDL, BNP, and all these other groups, right?
Right-wing people that don't like rape. All right, all the anti-rapists are all using English flags, and that's the #1 symbol of racism in the country, it seems. Now, the UK government, breaking, has blocked Kanye West from entering the UK to perform at the Wireless Festival because his presence would not be conducive to public good. Now, remember, they let in literal terrorists into their country. They literally let terrorists and rapists come in on small boats to their country. But a musician is apparently too beyond the pale. All right? Piers Morgan, lib cuck extraordinaire, so he could sell them some of his swastika merch. Right? Basically talking about how obviously it's a good thing that England is not letting Kanye West into the country to sing. Like, this is unbelievable levels of delusion and bullshit. Piers Morgan doesn't think there are immigration problems in England, for the record. This is who the Prime Minister of the UK and the King of England welcomed and shook hands with. This is Jolani, a former Al-Qaeda member, whose men in Syria are butchering Christians, Druze, and Alawites now. Today, they are still doing pogroms against Christians in Syria, and they are ISIS members ordered by Jolani, and Jolani is welcomed into England. They'll welcome in literal fucking terrorists, but they're not going to let in a musician with bipolar, okay? Are we even being serious? All right, now, of course, the media doesn't want to talk about this. 26 Christian worshippers slaughtered, Eastern Sunday attacks across Nigeria, churches burned, women and children abducted, the world stay silent. Why isn't the world talking about the massacre of Christians by Islamist terrorists? Of course, we can't talk about that. The media doesn't want to accidentally start Islamophobia. We have to talk about how Israel is killing terrorists and how it's a war crime or something instead. Now, obviously, this should radicalize the shit out of you, because this is a post from Nayib Bukele, someone who's jailing criminals, and this is what El Salvador looks like right now. Like, it looks like paradise, man. It looks like paradise. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's peaceful, children playing in the streets. It's instant, no garbage everywhere, no little migrant retards selling shit on the sidewalks that are staged and fake. All right, starting to suspect this is staged, because if it's legal, I have to suspect I've been living in a horror movie this whole time. Are you telling me the world could be this beautiful? What the fuck? You could just press a button and get a developed country. All it takes is enforcing the law. That's literally all it takes. You have laws, and you enforce them, and boom, you have a paradise. And the media, it keeps talking about Bukele like he's a dictator. Meanwhile, his country is one of the best places in the world right now. But he's a dictator. Meanwhile, they praise Australia, where they're literally having Islamic terror attacks on a basic, like all the time. Right? England, France, burning down churches, grooming gangs. But that's obviously a developed Western culture that's beautiful and stuff. And this whole idea that, El Salvador is a shithole run by a dictator, as opposed to the beautiful London, which is run by a liberal democracy, right? It's all a farce. It's all a lie. It's all media pushing an agenda. In fact, the media pushes such an agenda, they're shitting on our astronauts that went past the moon. Understand the level of hatred these people feel to our country. All right. Look at this, man. So Artemis 2, after a long pause, they ended up having a call with Donald Trump on their plane, and the media hates it. All right, so there's a pause. Trump is on the plane, on the phone. That is so cool, dude.
Administrator Alex, I'm going to just get a quick comm check, make sure you guys are still on the line and we didn't have a handover.
I am. Yes, I am.
Right, he was so in awe that he was just in silence. This is Trump. Trump doesn't shut the fuck up. And he was so in awe about what's going on that he was just in silence.
And integrity. And back over to you, Mr. President.
Yeah, I think we might have gotten cut off. It is a long distance. It's a long ways. The reception's been great. There's a little bit of about a 9-second delay, but no, I just had a statement for, I don't know what you heard, but I was just saying they're very proud of your brilliant person from Canada on the ship. And Wayne Gretzky is a great friend of mine, and he's very proud of him. And the prime minister I spoke to, they're very, very...
He's the governor of Canada. And so there we have Trump praising it, because obviously it's just absolutely incredible. And the mainstream media just absolutely hates it. How?
Oh my God. So this literally is the moon. Holy shit.
How excited are you?
Not at all excited.
I'm not excited that NASA's...
I'm British. I'm British. We've sacrificed our country so we can import rapists, and America's going to the moon. Obviously, we're doing better.
Going to the moon again? No, I think it's stupid.
Everything.
The liberal white woman. It's like, but there's a child starving in Kenya. Why do you even want to go to the moon?
Out there is dead. Everything down here is alive. Everything out there is grey and black. Everything down here is green and blue. And we're wasting all this energy and time and technology and thought going somewhere
These
where there's
people
nothing
are such miserable fucking people.
alive.
See, this woman, can you imagine how much better her life would be if she didn't know what electricity was? Unfortunately, by an aberration of fate, another Middle Ages peasant has spawned in the 21st century.
We go to space, we get new innovations, we bring them back to kill each other with.
That's not what... What?
She really thinks we're going to space to get alien technology to kill each other? Like, what are we even doing?
It's true.
It's true.
They have no...
It's literally true. Every time we go to space, we come back with plasma rifles.
Concept. Whenever kids see a rocket ship
so
flying to the fucking moon, and they look up every night and they see the moon, and then they could think, hold up, somebody fucking went there. That is inspiring.
It's not just that. It's just every advancement gets us closer to an unbelievable new horizon. Like, it's not just that we went to the moon. It's that we could do it again. It's that we could go even further. It's that we can go even further. Like, it's so unbelievable. It's astronomical, literally.
We need more astronauts as celebrities, and we
True.
need less TikTokers,
True.
and frankly, less streamers as
True.
celebrities.
God, we need less VTubers out there and more astronauts.
We were convinced that one day we'd find life in space, and increasingly, gallopingly, the consensus has built that there isn't anything alive. And I just think the pure tragedy
No, there is now.
of like
There's literally life in space right now. There are astronauts in space alive as we speak.
spending all this resource,
Go to
$100
Mars.
trillion and some...
$100 trillion? Why? What do you want to have it sent to a bunch of
Give
Pakistani
it to the Somalis.
rape gangs instead?
Exactly.
That'd be a better idea.
I just think it's terrible.
Also, Sky News on the day of the launch. What is this?
Yeah, and they are going for all humanity this time, you know?
This time, because there's a black man, and before we only went for white men.
Apollo was all white men, and this time it's not. And I think that really speaks
cares,
volumes
dude?
for...
It's like, imagine being an astronaut. Like, you're working your ass off. You're a black guy. You're an astronaut. You work your ass off. You're the absolute pinnacle of your field. You do some unbelievable, unfathomable achievement. And everyone is just like, he's black. That's pretty awesome. It's like, it's just so racist. It's crazy.
the journey that NASA has been on, and this is a much more representative crew.
It just feels
fucking
so
cares,
bad. Imagine
dude.
dedicating 30 years of your life to being the absolute
Oh
pinnacle
my
of your
God.
field. You're
Exactly.
going to the moon, and people
Yes.
are like, look at he's black. Oh, we got black people going to the moon now.
Again, we'll be out of communication for about 40 minutes.
You can see it, bro. Look, that's the
Beautiful view
Earth.
Of a crescent moon. And
That's
a
the
crescent
Earth. The
30
secret-
seconds now until we expect loss of signal.
They don't want to show the secret moon base. And you can see, look is right there on the side. That's literally the Earth, bro. It's despawning. They're getting out of line of sight.
That's crazy, dude.
And we have confirmation of loss of signal of the Orion
Damn.
spacecraft as it flies behind the moon. It's the first time in over 50 years that we have humans completely unreachable by anyone else on Earth.
Dude, that is just so freaking cool, man. It just really is. You just don't hate the media enough. They hate you. They hate your civilization. They hate your advancements. They hate your culture. They hate your way of life. They try to groom you and they try to manipulate you. And honestly, don't let them.